Welcome to Real Flix Reviews. We're like a book club for people 8 reading. This week we're doing movie shorts. I bring you movie news. And we have Jonathan Charney, James Stevens, Ryan
Hello.
Preston.
And the old guys.
The first short I'm going to do is Flashback with 2013.
It's that fast.
Jeez. And this one's whole claim to fame is by having original Star Trek member Chekhov, Walter Koenig, and I'm pretty sure I'm not
fine.
saying that
Close
right.
enough. He's not gonna watch the show. He doesn't care if you mispronounce his name.
Koenig.
So
You think that's
Chekhov.
what he really looks like now?
With a hat?
I think I'm gonna have to restart
No,
this
bald.
episode.
Oh,
Just wondered.
So, according to IMDb, the Star Trek original cast member stars in the science fiction short as Dr. Joseph Griffin, an inventor who has created a device that allows people to relive their memories. It's kind of like Strange Days, but without the twisted plot.
now,
Oh, and this is by, it's written and directed by Steve Peterson. So,
can we talk about this now?
yeah.
Okay. I kind of thought that there were some cool parts to this one, but I mean, it was like the dude was on crack, just sitting there in the same room. How did he not die sitting there? Was he like on some life support system or some crap?
Well, this is the
Well, it
future.
was on Mars.
Yeah, he's just sitting there, just watching the same thing over and over and over again.
He's
right?
broken.
Yeah, he's heartbroken.
He's broken.
Well, get over it.
He
Your
will
wife
when
wanted
he
you.
passes
She
away.
left. Go chase her.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is that
It's kind
he
of hard to walk outside on Mars.
Well, she did it.
Does make you wonder, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, come on. This is about, him apparently, realizing he made poor choices, and since he's on Mars, he can't do anything about it.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to tell you, getting back to reality on this thing, for short, I got to tell you, I was quite impressed with a lot of the things. I was impressed
I
with
agree.
it. Yeah, I think the effects were cool. I mean, even their green screen stuff was kind of cool. I mean, I don't know what this cost to make. I know it wasn't $300 million.
Oh, no, but this couldn't have been a cheap short.
Whoever did it, though, did a nice job. I thought the
Wait a second.
effects.
Why on earth couldn't this have been a cheap short?
It was 7 minutes.
Well, the reason why it wouldn't be a cheap short is a couple of the effects. There's definitely some render time in this, a lot
some
of render
money in
time.
it, yeah.
It's not a cheap short, but it's not like a...
IMDb say how much?
It
No,
doesn't.
I think you're
checked.
underestimating what people can do on a laptop.
Nah, this would take a long
This is-
time to render.
No, this is a $1,400
Nah,
computer
there's
program.
nothing on it.
That's it.
There's more. There's a lot of render time into this, and some effects and some time. I bet it's more than that.
Well,
I bet you can't do
I
it,
don't
Ryan.
think so. I
I'll put a
think they
challenge
blew
out
their
there. If you
budget
can
on
do
getting
something
Chekhov
this
for
good, I'll
$100.
give you $1,400.
So
What's that?
I said, if you can do something the quality of this short, I'll give you $1,400.
Look, people who go to film school for visual effects and things like this, this is the easy stuff to do. This is not
Not this one.
anywhere close to impressive in it.
Not in my opinion.
So-
I've seen a lot of film school shorts, and not this quality.
So since I'm the only one in here who actually edits video to some degree, there is some things that are simple in this. One being that 3D touch thing that pops up, the hologram. That's an easy effect. The transitions and building the environments are a little more complicated. It could have been time. The question is, did they pay to have that done? Did somebody volunteer? This
I bet this
That's
is a
my point.
$10,000 short.
it could have been easily that.
Yeah.
Really think it was under that. I think
Just the
John
red
brought it
camera
up.
alone.
Okay.
Just the
John
rent
brought it up
for a
to-
red camera alone.
all right, how about this, Ryan? You try to find out how much this costs to make.
I've been trying for like the last 20
Haven't we
minutes,
all?
so
That's okay.
So
Anyways,
so,
but-
so-
Let's
But
talk
what-
about the short.
But what I want to get into is, the dialogue was very simple.
True.
There really wasn't
There
much,
wasn't much there,
to
was
it.
there? Yeah.
cheesy.
And I gotta say, I was a little bit disappointed that Walter Koenig really only had like one expression on his face.
Yep.
Horrified.
He's
Horrified.
broken.
He
But I
looks behind
actually-
him
He's
around.
broken.
But that fit the character. That fit the problem with the character. He realized that his life goal was his wife, not, so I think that's the reason, just he was so heartbroken and he was a completely broken man. I think that was the whole concept, because he realized
I
he
got
chose
that.
the wrong thing.
No, I get that. I get that. But there was more that he could have done here, but I think what they were showing when he was painting the house as the young
Version of him.
Dr. Joseph Griffin, he screwed up then.
Yeah.
And I want to know how she leaned up against that wall that she was painting and came away with no paint.
It was instant dry.
It is the future,
Just
mind
throwing
you.
that out there.
Instant dry paint.
That kind of bothered me. That was
That's
a little
like
bit
the
of
boat
that was a little
stopping
bit
on
of
a
a
dime.
goof. That was a little bit of a goof to me because I mean, if you really do, you don't. If this is new technology, stuff like that,
It's-
do you really think you'd have brush paint still?
Yeah,
Brushes, paint brushes,
Maybe it's
and
maybe,
rollers.
Well, you notice the color was different. Maybe it was like a nanite wall where paint. We could change the color in it.
Well, that would be cool.
Oh, no, there you go.
But
I'm
then
all
you
for
also
that.
well to
Couple of
kind of go
electrodes you solder to the wall, and you just hit a button and say, "I want it to be blue today."
to kind of go back to what John's saying when he went in for the interview, his whole environment changed
Well, I actually think
that he was sitting in.
well that
he had
part.
his own green screen.
Well,
Yeah.
no, that part was actually the app. The house was actually part of his device and reliving his memory. When he swiped away, he turned the device off.
True.
And that's one of the reasons I also thought one of the really clever, probably simple effects is when the hologram, started trying to touch him and you saw little shocks around his face. This I think
Okay.
has some
Of
pretty
course,
good
at the
little
beginning
cues.
there, the question was which one was the hologram.
Now, this concept came out in
Ryan.
2013, and
I'm glad you saw me roll my eyes.
I did.
okay, and I was watching a episode of another show called Black Mirror, and they kind of had the same concept, where it was a little device in the back of your head that you could relive all memories throughout your life, so that your memories, you could relive them and have a more accurate description of what's going on in your life, and you could do that, and that's what they turned into watching TV. Similar concept.
That's actually closer to this than Strange Days was. When Strange Days was that device you had to
Yes.
wear.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you haven't seen it, it's a
So,
good movie.
as far as the original idea, it is out there. It's a cool concept. Do you really think that we would want it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you think it would be a device that would change all of the world?
Well, actually, I think that was one of the reasons why I picked this was because I think that it was the emphasis of the fact that technology isn't always the best thing. Because I actually think a lot of people would be doing in his room is sitting in their mother's basement, reliving
I think the
memories.
holographic idea, if you could immerse yourself into a movie, actually place yourself into a movie, or into whatever.
As long as the
You
safety-
mean like the holodeck of Star
Yeah,
Trek?
yeah.
As long as the
Yeah,
safeties were on.
exactly.
I didn't have to worry
when
about
the safeties
dying.
are on, right. But that's
But come
I
on, you
guess
don't
that's
want a
kind of the idea.
Moriarty?
Okay,
Not
yeah.
really.
Yes, right. Yes, John.
I was kind of
Sorry.
just pretty much touched on the exact same thing that James brought up, was why would anybody want this? And then Rob just said, I think it was just said that. Sorry, it keeps repeating when I'm talking. I can hear it repeating in my head. My own voice. It's weird. It's only with the audio. But now I've completely lost my train of thought.
Obviously.
Something about whatever I said.
Or me, or James,
somebody.
because you gave all three of us out. So
Well, I was talking about
Puppy.
Moriarty and why would people want this?
Right. Okay. Well, why would people want this? But then, with that technology, wouldn't, like Rob said, just people want to live in movies? Who the hell wants to relive their own memories when that's the option?
Right.
Yeah.
When the holodeck is the option.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
it took a long time to get out.
that's why on Star Trek, of course, there was always you only had a certain amount of holodeck time,
well, that was actually in DS9.
and also to give other people
Because
share.
everybody wanted it.
Yeah,
Everybody wanted
everybody-
to be in the holodeck.
Yeah,
That's
So-
sort of like Barkley.
that I mean, that's something else that I mean, you could always just have time limits, time frames, things that you have to do to move on. And in the Star Trek universe, it was because everybody wants to give their participation into the community type thing. That's
yeah.
really what Star Trek was about. That's why people had careers, goals, things like that. They were all trying to give community style.
No,
Okay,
no,
so
but-
what's that got to do with the
So
show?
hold on.
Okay.
This comes back to this of he creates this device.
Yeah.
His wife takes off on him because he was immersed in this device. What does he have to live for except for nothing? I mean, did he have a real job? Did he have anything? Nothing,
Well, I
really.
think
So
at this
was
point-
this device, was this something that was in his brain that he was able to, all of a sudden put up, or
was it a recording of
Yeah.
an actual event? That's the other question I have. Is this something that is connected to his brain, or was it something that he just turned on in his house and recorded the live events?
Yeah,
Somehow, I doubt the writer thought it through that far.
probably
No,
right.
but I'll be honest. I always loved this short, and this is one of the few shorts I've seen that I always wanted more of.
Really?
Yeah, I like the basic premise of it because it seems like it would set
It
a
may have-
beginning of an interesting universe or character study.
It didn't
or-
really intrigue me that much.
It
It
could have
intrigued me.
been, where somebody puts together a short to sell a movie. I want to make this movie, and here's this short.
As like a universe or as a story talking about this guy? Because I'm kind of...
As anything, let's say that I want to make a $300 million movie, so I spend a little bit of money and make a short.
Oh,
okay?
I got it. Hold on. This could be the precursor to Total Recall.
Oh, I was wow.
Come on, Ryan. I was
Or what-
waiting for something. I was
what-
trying to bait you.
Or what you could do is make a bunch of short movies with that device. That device could be a MacGuffin to drive stories and have different characters, kind of like the Hotel in 4 Rooms.
No, I kind of see where John's going with that, and that's not a bad idea.
So, what do you give this, James? Because I'm pretty sure I know Ryan's
We're
rating.
scoring these?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly,
I do have to get the half-point thing going.
as I said, this one didn't really intrigue me. I didn't really want more. I couldn't really come up with an idea of why I would want more at all. So, I mean, really, graphics-wise, what he gave as far as dialogue and storyline was delivered actually pretty well. So it's really only a 2 to me. There really wasn't anything that gave me wanting more or wanting to see more of it.
Rob?
I'm going to give it a 3, only because I think there was a little effort put into it, maybe a little bit of money. I thought, I thought it was, for what it was entertaining. So I thought it was a 3.
And since I know what Ryan's going to give, but what the hell, that's
Somehow Ryan and I have flipped all of us.
No, you know what? I actually
He's done a
just
Russian.
cringed right now because Rob made me change my rating when he did the effort thing. And
Oh.
I'm always the guy that's preaching about, this took effort no matter what it is.
yeah, you
Bad, good or
bastard.
bad. It takes
stole
effort
it
for
from
somebody
you.
to want to do it. So that being said, it's a 2. That being said, this was a waste of 7 minutes for me. Nothing about this, from conception to the actual story to the terrible acting. Terrible acting.
When was
I
this shot?
thought... no, hold on, Ryan. This was 2013. Ryan,
Really?
I gotta say, the young acting was pretty good.
Yes.
No,
The young couple.
terrible.
A lot better. I thought they were better than Walter
Okay, the
Koenig.
young acting might have been due to the writing. I'll concede
Well,
that.
time.
All right,
well,
anyways,
I
we
don't-
got to move on.
I'm actually impressed. So far, we've done 10 minutes.
I'm
On
only
an
So-
8-minute movie. Yeah.
saying-
So the next one I picked is called a
You
Darwinian.
didn't give your rating.
Yeah. No, he
The
didn't.
hell?
Yeah.
He said a 2.
He said a 2.
What about
No,
you?
John. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Don't be
yeah.
moving on. You didn't give your
Yeah.
rating.
Well, since I picked it, I'm gonna give it a higher rating. So I'm giving it a 4 out of 5.
Whoa.
What a shock.
This is insane. This is
I want my money back.
I'm also kind of
That's
hoping. I was also kind of hoping if this turned into actually something, it'd be kind of an apocalyptic semi-utopian future.
All
It'd be
right.
an
I'm going to
interesting.
turn into the Russian
chain
judge.
myself to the front door of a movie theater if this comes out.
It won't.
I dare you
don't,
to.
Don't worry about it.
You could do it in front of Tarantino's. He might actually. See,
Might
the
actually
next,
film it.
Lord, don't give
the
him
next,
an idea.
the next one I picked was a Darwinian future directed by, and I can't pronounce their names, so forgive me. It's Raghav
Raghav Anil
R-A-G-H.
Kumar and Pramod Nath.
What he said. I liked the basic story of it. The graphics on this one were definitely film schoolish, but I thought it was at least an interesting concept about technology now is watching us and has become our masters.
Well, I kind of see what you're saying there. The premise of this is a
Didn't
young man
Terminator
walks
read
through
it?
his decaying city to approach a hooded figure, and telepathically they exchange funds. He is threatened by a police android and tries to fight back. Okay. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up, but this one, I gotta say, this one actually intrigued me more than the other one. not by much, but it did. I thought the SIM card thing was actually kind of a cool little feature. I mean, I really don't think I want to be putting a SIM card inside of me, though.
As long as it's not like
slot.
Yeah.
As long as it's not like the SIM cards I've had from AT&T. I've had enough issues with those in my past.
I think we're beyond SIM cards in that
But-
universe. So
Somebody in the comments on YouTube actually brought up a really good point. Those robot police things
yeah,
seem like really crappy and horribly designed.
yeah.
Oh, no,
like
they
really
were.
flimsy.
Oh, they were terrible.
And I mean, if you can just kind of kill it the way that guy killed it, yeah, they're pretty crappy.
Well, that to me was actually the one part of this that actually kind of broke me really enjoying it. Was just I thought the robots were really
Talking
poorly
about film
designed.
schoolish.
Yeah,
the
no, it
water
is.
tower falls down on the robot.
Oh, really crappily designed.
Poorly, yes. It
What,
was
Ryan,
horrible.
come on.
What's Ryan like this one?
Yeah,
No,
Ryan gives this
God,
one a
come on,
5.
Ryan, let's
You
go.
could already tell on his face he's
Oh,
pissed at me
Lord.
for wasting maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know, and I shouldn't be that pissed. But
14.
14 minutes. Yeah, so I'm a little less pissed knowing it's that. But
Ass.
yeah, film school to say the least. Although I feel like you can kill most robots by dropping 10,000 pounds of water on them. Just saying.
And
That
people.
being said, the effects were something out of like Final Cut Pro. Which,
Yeah.
okay, fair enough. But the whole story in general, from the narrator to the acting to the dude, was like somebody, if you explained to them what an action movie was, but they never actually saw it, you know what I mean? But still got in touch with all the cliches, like that's what it would look like.
I'll be honest, it reminds me of some Spielberg movies I've seen in the past.
It reminds me of most things that come out of India. I don't know why Bollywood gets so much like praise. They're just terrible movies.
Yeah, they really are.
They're,
I
they're
hate
really terrible.
Bollywood.
They're like if there's somebody's approximation of a Hollywood movie, but it's not. It's almost making fun of it.
I
you
like
know?
the dancing.
Acting was a little cheesy in this one too, and conceptually, I think that Terminator got it right as far as robots taking over. I don't think it would have ever gotten to the point where everybody's just like, okay, I guess I'm putting this thing in my chest.
Right.
Like, no, we're gonna rebel and go to war with stupid machines now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think their explanation of it was people just kind of put up with the slow encroachment of technology.
Yeah, but the slow encroachment of artificial intelligence telling people what they can and cannot do, that's not slow. That's like an overnight thing that's like, wait a minute, what's a thing now?
Well, what's
Yeah.
what's the
Doing that
difference
thing
between
now.
an AI and a politician?
True. Yeah.
I mean, realistically.
I kind of thought it was interesting that they had the GMO market. Did you guys catch that little thing? There
I
was,
did, but that's already.
I like the
Everybody's gonna
billboard
get
sign
on
that
it,
said
everybody over it.
it had a picture of an AR-15 and said "Buy one, get two."
Oh,
yeah.
I love that sign.
Wasn't
was
that
the first
good?
Thing. I was like, hey, maybe I might like this.
Yeah, that was the
So
best,
you know,
best part.
there were little things that I thought whoever the guys that put it together actually put some thought into some of the little things in there. The little
Very
things.
little thought.
Sure.
But-
for the big things, it's all stuff that's been done before and been done better.
Exactly, and I gotta go with Ryan on that one. Is that, you know, the story intrigued me, but only because I've heard the story before, and I like where it goes. That's what Ryan hit on right off the bat. It's basically all the action movies that you've seen that, you know, robots take over, we come rebel, we shoot them.
It's kind of like, was it the Cyborg that came out in the 80s? It had a kind of a little bit of a Mad Max-ish feel, a little.
Are you talking about the Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Yeah.
Okay, that was
I
cracking
got
me.
one more thing to say about the robots, and this is more advice for anybody in robotics these days and wants to do some kind of
Don't build them like this.
robot, like killer or robot soldier or something like that. One, they don't need to look like people.
Yes, they do.
Two, they don't need to know karate if they do look like people.
Yeah, I was wondering
The
if
purpose
you.
of having robots is you can like change their arms into saws and
Yeah, that
or
I
just
gotta
make
agree.
them all guns, just like 150 guns all over the front of them.
I don't
What is
think
this human karate thing?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny when he did the
Back kick and
yeah,
the spin and all that.
I actually, a couple of things is one, I don't think they wanted to spend that much time on it, and two, I wonder if it was rotoscoped.
it, no, there's easier
Well, I mean,
ways to do it.
rotoscope
Like I said,
by-
Final Cut Pro
mean,
can do most of that.
Well, I
shit.
meant basically rotoscope. What it is a person did all the moves,
Sure.
and they rotoscoped or digitally replaced them with a very crappy
they
robot.
probably did.
And
I know what you meant.
natural.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that would
I
be
don't
too
know.
much effort.
Well, they got the motion somehow, so it's
So-
probably, it's probably an app on an
I'm
iPhone.
sorry, did those
somewhere.
motions actually look real? It's like they did it with a wire figure on a computer and then just
It's an Apple
said,
app.
good enough.
Hey, maybe it was some India WWF wrestler.
No,
I'm telling you,
no,
it's an
it
app.
was- it was
So-
Could be the Great Khali or whatever his name was.
Not tall enough. So I'm just gonna get this over with. Ryan, what's your rating?
The silence.
This is a 1. Everybody in India, stop trying to make movies. I'm sorry.
I have to
No,
agree with
no
Rob
points
there.
for effort on this one.
So Rob,
Oh yeah, this is definitely high on my list. This is a 1 if I've ever seen one.
James.
Oh wow! At least I'm not the Russian judge here. Jeez, 1. Yeah, I gotta go with that. On no original plot. It was stolen, and they didn't even do a good job at that.
Nah, it's bad.
But this one intrigued me more than the other ones. So
That's not saying much for you, James.
it's not.
Well, I'll just let you know, I'm guys gonna lowball all your picks from now.
Oh no.
Yep.
You know, I would have given it a better score, but it didn't deserve it. Sorry.
Oh man!
Sure. So I gave it a 2 out of 5 because
Really?
Did we get James? I mean, Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ryan
Ryan
went for
started
1, right?
Ryan,
Yeah.
Ryan started the
one.
ones.
You said a what?
a 2.
There you go.
Ryan's mad at the subcontinent of India now.
Yeah, boy, we're gonna get hacked by some India hackers.
So
You're not going
Thankfully-
to get any more in Machni now.
So just let everybody
Butter
know we
chicken.
do have a Facebook page. Hey, do you like us? Do you hate us? Do you think I suck for picking these movies? Let us know. I'll read you on air and ridicule you because well, I have a show and you don't.
At least you didn't pick toys.
Yes. Shit, that was a bad movie. So I have good and bad news. There's going to be another X-Men movie called X-Men Apocalypse. The news that's actually sad is no Patrick Stewart or Ian McKellen, most likely.
That's okay. It's time.
No, that does make me sad. I could watch Ian McKellen in pretty much anything.
It's sad, but it's time.
Okay, wait.
And so according to what it was...
Wait. How are they going to make that movie without them?
Well, here's a quote.
dead.
Here's a quote from the. Well, if you stop interrupting me, here's a quote from Patrick
You wanna
Stewart. He
do what?
said he was learning a lot about it, and it tells basically it's about when they were younger.
Oh, okay, so it's the younger versions of
I'm
them.
hoping it's
it's
the
a
two
prequel.
from. I'm hoping it's the two from the
Days
last
of Future
one.
Past.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Michael Fassbender and I can't remember the guy that played Xavier.
I
Yeah,
don't
if
know.
it's
See, I really like them though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta
hope
say I
it's-
do.
I hope it's those
It's
two
good,
because
yeah.
those two play very well
They
together.
did a good job.
And another one I thought was interesting on the news about Ian McKellen. It's called Mr. Holmes, and it's about Sherlock Holmes as an old man. It says Mr. Holmes is based on a Mitch McCullen's 2006 novel, A Slight Trick of the Mind. So it's supposed about him going over Japan, and stuff about that, about Holmes being like a 90-plus-year-old man and losing his power of reasoning or the adoptive, his smarts. What do you think?
I'm pretty much done with Sherlock Holmes stuff.
I've always been.
Yeah, it's
Why the do we need that? I just
Well, I'm interested in it a lot more than the Robert Downey Jr. movies, which I kind of sucked actually.
okay. What about the other 4 Sherlock Holmes things that are out now? Are we not satisfied with that?
Oh, you mean the one with
Have you
Benedict
The
Cumberbatch?
Benedict Cumberbatch one for one, and then there's an American version of the Benedict Cumberbatch one. Not to mention.
How about the TV
Oh,
series?
wait, are you
dozen
ta-
old
How about the
movies.
TV series Elementary?
Yeah, but that has a British dude in it, Johnny Lee Miller.
And a female Dr. Watson.
I actually haven't watched that one.
It's good.
Well, this one intrigues me enough because it's something I've never heard of. It's with Holmes as an old guy.
Okay, next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys all suck.
And
And here's one back. Here's one news from his crappy childhood was the Thunderbirds are back.
Oh Lord.
So they're basically
Animation.
they're
Yeah, okay.
and it looks like it's done by Weta, which is interesting. That's Peter Jackson's Weta Workshop.
I'm down.
That would be the place to do it.
Yeah.
Hell, they made the last Hobbit movies basically look like cartoons. Why not add more?
Sure.
It
Well,
says,
the third one we all agreed kind of brought it back a little more
yeah,
into reality.
yeah, the second one was
To
still
say
lame.
reality when we're talking about Middle Earth.
And this one says it blends regular model work with CGI, anime-influenced version of the characters, which probably
Okay.
means they're all
I'm
going to be
ecstatic with
androgynous.
that. There needs to be. I've said this a lot on the show, I think, but there needs to be more areas for the mixing of those two. Nobody makes miniatures anymore, like the miniature towns of Japan that Godzilla was always stomping on in the 50s. Somebody made those. Somebody put that shit together by hand and tried to make it look exactly like Tokyo as they.
So
Well,
some
no.
guy could walk through and destroy it.
So some guy could
So
just
you
step
wanna-
on
you
it,
wanna
or
bring
blow it up,
claymation
or
back is what
put it
you
in
want.
water or something.
Okay.
And
Well,
With
Well,
Play-Doh.
the Lord of the Rings movies was done with practical effects and miniatures combined with CGI.
Right, which made it look so much real. Like, if you want to know why the original Jurassic Park holds up so well, it's because the mix of puppets and CGI. You know, the beginnings of CGI, but the puppets really made it real. I think it was Jim Henson made the original.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're right.
It was Stan Winston, actually, who made
Well,
the...
Jim Henson's company.
Right.
I think it was his... Yeah. It was his, yeah, something
Yeah,
like
the
that.
Henson
Creature
group,
Shop,
Henson,
yeah.
whatever you want to call them. Yeah, I agree. The Jim Henson, they don't really have that. That's basically a dead art now.
But it shouldn't be, and I hope it's not. I hope there's still just this fringe group of people that have hung on to the skill, you know?
Yeah,
Well,
they
they're-
do short films like what we're trying to do now.
Yeah.
Well, Chris Nolan,
Like
know,
you guys
is
keep
kind of,
panning.
busy with all of his stuff.
And so
Can I
one...
change my rating to the first one to a 1?
Yeah, I think I won't find a one too.
Yep, sorry, can't do that. Matter of fact, I think you all just gave it 3s. And and why in the world would you do that? Is there's going to be a new Smurf movie, but this time it's going to be straight cartoon animation, not the 3D animation live action.
That's a good idea.
Are we done yet?
Are you okay?
No.
Jeez.
Why are we talking about this shit?
Um,
Let's get some good news.
Well,
Hey, this hasn't exactly been a great new movie
no.
I can
news
see
week.
that.
I gotta say, I'm not really into the Smurfs. I didn't think the other two were any good, so I'm not excited.
You didn't have a crush
Let
on
me
the
throw some
Smurfs.
silver lining at you guys for a second. This, to me, the subtext of which is like studios realizing their mistake of doing that kind of a thing live action in the first place and saying, you know what, we're sorry. Here's what we should have done in the first place.
I agree. I agree with Ryan. They should have done one animated movie, call it quits. All the kids
Right.
from the 80s would have been happy. 80s would have been happy. And
I
instead
didn't
of
like the Smurfs.
With the Hulk when it came out, and then everybody was like, no, forget about that one. This is the actual Hulk. I mean, it's the most apology we're ever going to get from these people.
Are you talking about the first time they did the Hulk or the
Well, there's-
second one?
Or there's the one with
The-
Eric
the one
Bana.
where they did the Hulk with who was in the first one?
Eric
Not the Norton
Bana.
version, right? Not
Because there's-
Edward,
Yeah, Eric Bana, that one, and then they redid it with Ed Norton like a year later.
That a
Which
couple
was
of
even
years,
worse.
But yeah,
No, it wasn't worse. What are you talking about?
it was better. It was a lot better.
was
no,
a
they
lot
both sucked.
Well, yes, they're both bad, but
It wasn't great, but it was miles away from where the first one was.
yeah, the first one was bad.
The first one was epically bad, and then our apology was, here's another Hulk movie that's not as bad. I'm not saying go see the Smurfs. I'm just saying,
Okay.
something realizing that.
I was trying to figure out where the hell you were going with that because I'm not going to
No,
go watch the
it's
Smurfs.
it's just the studio realizing maybe we didn't have to dress it up with, all this other bullshit.
So I have kind of another question before because we're coming up to the end of the show and apparently the old guy's happy. I was wondering what you guys thought of the old
That's his happy face.
the reboot of Ghostbusters with an all-female cast.
No.
Now,
Now the question is, will you see it? Because
No.
I'll be honest, I'm not interested at all. I probably won't see it.
let me clarify my emphatic no. It wasn't to the cast of all women. It's to anybody who is not Bill Murray, Dan
Mhm.
Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, and Sam Winston.
Yeah.
Sam Winston.
And I'll be honest, since Harold Ramis died,
So-
they should never do another Ghostbusters.
there-
That's what I'm saying. It's just it's dead now. It's gone.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any happy news today.
No, there's no happy news today. Ryan's
Well,
bummed.
well,
The
there
music
is.
died.
I know. There's even miserable news. Is what movies are you doing next week, James?
I will release them later. I haven't decided. It's down
No,
to
you got to
7.
do it. You got to do it right now.
No. They will be sent to you, and you can post them.
You're gonna post them. You have access to everything too.
Facebook page.
And it's right here, Facebook.com/RealFlixReviews. And I'm sorry that James apparently has not done his homework.
I have. Do you want me to release all 7? I'll do that.
Then I'll pick which ones you do.
No.
Yes.
You did the same thing last week.
So, ladies and gentlemen, no, I actually told you which ones.
I wasn't listening.
At least I think I did.
Neither was I.
Ladies and gentlemen, as always, we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Thank you.